Okay, right, while my current project is drying, which incidentally is the Focke-Wulf, and it's drying with enamel paints, that's going to take overnight to dry, so I thought I'd have a quick look at this one, which is another little small model, small box, only $6.99. You can see there, got this from a brilliant little model shop in Cromer when I was on holiday over the summer. So we are looking at a Stug III 75mm assault gun, Airfix, vintage classic, 176 scale. I had a quick look at what an assault gun is versus a tank. It basically is a cheap version of a tank, tracked vehicle, fixed turret, low profile, supports some movements like infantry movements, but it's not as flexible as a tank. No rotating turret, but it is a massive gun, so a massive movable gun. So that's what this is. A little bit of history. It is World War II. A turretless tank based on a Panzer III chassis. All used in all theatres of World War II. Originally tooled in 1963, so Airfix have brought this back. The thing I've noticed that is interesting, these little boxes, cheap kits, not many parts, they're normally quite easy. This is a skill level 2, so I'm interested to see why this is more difficult than a normal one. Not much to speak of on either end. On the bottom or on the back is the paint scheme. No paint, it's not a starter set, so there's no paints inside. Looks pretty simple. It's black, and then this, I love this like sandy colour, which I have, I think, from a previous model, the Tiger, maybe, and I hope the paint hasn't dried out because I love this colour. So we'll see what that's going to be like, but I'll pause the video there and then we'll have a look inside the box. So this is what fell out. We'll have a look at that in a sec. There are your decals, not many of them. And what's immediately apparent to me, which is pretty different, is that it's not really on, I guess there's some sprues there, but there's a lot of just like loose parts floating around in a bag. So that's quite cool, a bit different. And it's got these, and I've done these before, they're kind of plasticky tracks, almost rubber-like, which means one good thing, no fiddly painting of tracks on wheels, so that immediately makes me happy. Right, I'm going to pause again, we'll open up that, we'll open up this and take a bit of a look. Right, let's have a quick look at this here, continue the history lesson, so you can probably read it yourself, but effectively appeared late in 1942, World War II, used to accompany infantry into attack. Its main aim was to knock out pillboxes, machine gun nests and anti-tank guns. Took part in the North African and Russian campaigns as well as Normandy. Had a massive gun, decent armour, blah blah blah. Top speed of 22 kilometers an hour. So there we go. Being a vintage classic, it's kind of got retro style instructions. It's literally number 1, glue everything on one side of the tracks. Number 2, glue everything on the other side. I've had this before. These are tricky to put together. I think a previous vintage classic, because there's not really a lot to line up and not a lot of space for the glue to stick. So hopefully we can get that square. Stick a few bits and bobs on. On goes the gun and the tracks. And then laughably you have stage 1 with about 50 parts, and stage 7 just has these 2 little bits on the end. And that is that. Let's open this now. So I stand corrected. They are on sprues. There's, I guess, one side, the other side, bottom, top, tracks. And again, the thing which is kind of immediately apparent, similar to the other vintage classics I've done, the tooling does look old. Maybe this is something you should embrace. Tooling on the Focke-Wulf, newer model, feels new. Even the plastic feels better. This feels like a bit, yeah, I don't know, cheap and cheerful. We'll see how it all comes together though. It doesn't seem too difficult, so yeah, we'll get cracking.